here we are with Amanda. You're about a month into the coaching now, and we're just going to share your progress. Obviously, you're a month into the coaching and a month into the Qenda, so lots going on. Do you want to say a little bit of why you started the Qenda and the coaching first, like where you started, so everyone can know, and what symptoms you're sort of dealing with, diagnosis, whatever, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, perfect. Well, I think I've had gut problems for a long time, and I think quite often they're hidden by you think you've got IBS or something. I mean, if I think back, I've had gut problems in my 20s, 30s. And this whole program I've been doing with you, James, has really made me reflect back on where some of the things have started, what I ignored, how things were building up. And obviously my gut was showing signs of inadequacy, not working properly. Not so much was known about the gut in those days. I mean, I'm going back about sort of 30 years or so. We did know a little bit about IBS, but it's all gone on and on and on and on. Had food poisoning, all sorts of things, till it's reached a stage where I've ended up with an autoimmune condition. So I have a muscle wasting condition. And there's so much more information out there that health starts from the gut. Everything in our body, if our gut's not working, then it's going to have a reflection and make other parts of our body not work. And yeah, my body's just been giving up on me. My body's eating its muscle. That's what's happening, and I'm getting weaker. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And then a good friend introduced me to you. And I watched some of your videos, which were absolutely inspiring. I thought, my God, this guy knows what he's talking about. I love the fact you got the whole holistic approach from farming right through to health, and you've been there too. And I was so inspired. I just thought I've got to give it a go. So on the product. But I've used lots of products in the past. But this time I actually wanted the support for taking the product as well. And it was like really important for me to allow myself to have the healing, the support, the knowledge as I was healing. And I've learned from you has been incredible. So, and just having you there just to work through my progress, because I think I'm on a 4-month program with the Qenda. But I'm on a 3-month coaching with you, which is great. Every 2 weeks we check in and you give me another snippet and tell me what's happening with my body, so that I understand what's going on, which is great. So, yeah.
Yeah. And today, well, obviously as well, you're like a trained nutritionist, aren't you? Like qualified nutritionist. And also, obviously, you had the skin clinic and stuff like that as well. So you've got a background in health and wellness and stuff like that. And obviously, I'm telling you stuff that you haven't been. Is contrary to sort of what you learned in your nutritional training, and also it's like you said, little snippets, and like I just like and that's why it's 2 weekly, like bi-weekly calls, just so give you stuff to learn and go away with, and then so you know when you can apply it. And the 2 weeks is just the right amount of time to then when we go for another call, like we see how you are, and then we go over some more stuff and drop some more little knowledge bombs. I know today I was talking about because obviously you was very plant-based before, weren't you? And a lot of what we've been speaking about was upping your protein just to at least like the daily recommended amount, and even more than that, building up to more than that, so we can really heal your body, because you need the protein and the amino acids to rebuild your body. And especially with muscle wasting away, first point of call is obviously get your gut health sorted, but more than anything, like your muscle will waste away if you're not having enough protein in your diet. And I guess that's where coaching comes in. You can help, because it's so hard when you're doing it yourself to see what's actually going on and see the bigger picture. Whereas I remember when we first spoke, it was alarm bells were ringing, like, and a lot of my clients and people that I help, like, they're not having enough protein. Like it's sort of been demonized in the modern world now. Like obviously veganism or whatever, or just obviously with factory farming and stuff like that. Like I wouldn't want to eat some meat that's been factory farmed, and yeah, neither would you. But what we spoke about today was obviously how yeah, the like cows and stuff eat grass. The sun's shining down on the grass. The cows are there with all the family in the field, just as nature intended, and the grass is unaltered. Like I guess you've never really heard that before about how like at the moment they're ploughing up all the fields and they're turning it over and they're just feeding they're putting the seeds in and they're feeding it fertilizers and like basically the plants and stuff that we eat are just on a life support machine, and the fertilizers that they use are made by Monsanto, which like do chemical warfare, and they also it's from the petrochemical industry. So these things that we're eating are on a life support machine, let alone the fact it's been ploughed up and the whole ecosystem under the soil where they all nurture each other and give each other what they need, that's totally gone. And yeah, and that's why meat comes in so handy. Like it's probably one of the few things, like meat and fruit are probably the few things left that are pretty much unaltered. Everything else is monocrop farm and stuff. But yeah, we went deep into that, didn't we?
We did, and it's interesting what you say, James. Yeah, I've studied nutrition. I've been, a vegetarian stroke vegan on and off since I was 16. I mean, we're talking a very long time, 40 years. And I think, and obviously the nutrition that I studied was much as you say, I was focusing very much, I believe in preaching what I do, and that's very much what I was doing. And I think that there is a lot out there saying how very valuable plant is, and I know you've got veganary and plant-based. It's very, very trendy now, but I think what you made me realize, like with everything in life, treatments, clothes, shoes, where we go on holiday, whatever we do, not everything suits everyone, and even down to your diet. And as much as, I've been thinking I've been having this healthy diet, you really made me reflect that maybe that kind of diet is not good for me. And what worried me is, is the amount of antibiotics, all the medicines that are pumped into animals. But you obviously coming from a farming background, having that as a big part of your knowledge, explained a lot to me about being able to get meat that's grass fed and raw milk. And I think my body's crying out for it. So I did sort of some work on looking at what protein I was taking and my calcium, and it was very low. And that's not going to help if you've got a muscle wasting condition. So not only am I detoxing with the Qenda, but I'm getting some really good personal coaching. And you can't coach yourself. You cannot be accountable sometimes to yourself and question yourself. You've really turned things around and made me think for the first time in sort of 40 years that I probably do need to start bringing some good quality meat and dairy into my diet, because I'm not having anywhere near enough.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm excited to hear how you feel when you're on it, because I know a lot of people's energies increase. But talking of which, like obviously you felt that we'll talk a little bit about how you've been getting on with the Qenda. I know it's been about 10 minutes now, but yeah, how you've been getting on with the Qenda, because obviously I know you mentioned about your skin and like less brain fog. You want to, obviously you're a month in now, so you want to say a little bit about how it feels to be a month in and how it's gone.
Definitely. Well, my girlfriend that recommended it to me was so excited to recommend it, and I was at a really low state. I was in bed, I was bedbound, I had a broken foot, I was feeling depressed, I had no energy, I had brain fog. I was just in a terrible place. And she mentioned it to me and said, look, it's great what it had done to her, so always go on recommendation. And I tried it, and at first, I mean, she did warn me, and so did you, but it tasted unbelievable. The taste was unreal, but I was thinking to myself, this is going to do me good. And the thing with it is, and you said it, everyone says it as well, is that the more that you take and the less detox you become, the taste becomes more palatable, which it has. So that's the first thing. Sort of 3 weeks in, the taste is fine. I persevered with it. I mean, it's not chocolate milkshake, but chocolate milkshake's not great for you. This is doing me the world of good, and it doesn't taste bad. So it doesn't taste really bad now. But the general sort of the fact when it got into my tummy, and this was the other alarm bell, was I wasn't going to the loo. I wasn't passing maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. And that is a big alarm bell that everything's shut down. And since taking Qenda, I go every day, if not twice a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day. I went a lot more at the start, constantly pooping, because I hadn't been. There was a lot of debris inside me, and you've explained brilliantly what was going on. I had a sore tummy at times, and you explained why. And I think it's very important when you're having a treatment and to be compliant and to know the why. And as soon as you told me the reason it hurts is because parasites and things are coming away from my wall, then that's great. But everything's calming down a little bit. I haven't got a proper poop yet, but I'm passing literally crap out of my system, literally stuff that's not great. And brain fog's going, circulation, skin's better, sleeping better. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm at early stages, but yeah, I'm doing brilliantly.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I know yeah, you said you got more like colour in your face, skin's a lot better on your face and on your body and stuff, and plumper, and it yeah, everything's starting to work as it should. And yeah, thanks for sharing that, because I know it's so taboo for people to talk about poo, and it shouldn't be. Like we feel like yeah, like it's rude or something, but actually I see it the other way around, flip it on its head. I think it's rude to do that to your body and hold on to stuff and hold on to all them toxins when your body wants to flush them out. And obviously with you having slow transit and not only going once a week, there was a lot building up in your body. So yeah, that like when you first called me and mentioned about like the muscle wastage, and then the first thing I say is like how many bowel movements you have in a day, and, and then obviously the protein intake and stuff like that. And I was like, we can go into all that. And yeah, like, and to me, like when you come and said muscle wastage, and obviously I don't know what's going on. Like it, yeah, to me it sounds like parasites eating away all the places you don't want them to be eating away, like your myelin sheath in your spine and stuff like that. They can get into your cerebral fluid, and then obviously impacted feces on the inside of the wall. So you're not actually getting nutrients or any food, and you're holding on to a lot of toxicity. A lot of people I help with chronic fatigue and like even MS and stuff like that. Like if someone says they've got MS, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, I know they're not having enough bowel movements in a day. I can guarantee they're only having like 1 or less bowel movements in a day. So they're holding on to the toxins, and the body just sort of starts shutting down because it's not in balance. So yeah, we're dealing with all that. You got the coaching, you got the Qenda, and yeah, thanks for your time and sharing it. And obviously we're only a month in, so excited to share your journey. And yeah, you are healing now, and we're covering a lot of areas. So yeah, are you happy? Is there anything else you want to share?
No, it's great. I think just looking forward to the next few months and what I'm learning from you from the coaching, and looking forward to seeing the difference that my change of diet, because I'm looking to introduce some meat, grass-fed meat. Is it grass-fed, James?
Yeah, grass-fed, and yeah, if it's organic, that's obviously great, because then it hasn't got like the hormones and growth hormones or antibiotics or whatever other crap, like, or even like because like some it can be grass reared, but then there can be spraying weed killer on the grass. So you want to make sure that it's organic and hasn't got like the glyphosates and stuff like that on the grass, because obviously eating that, like we mentioned before, glyphosates, they create leaky gut, and yeah, we don't want them as much as possible. But
No,
yeah,
no,
excited. Yeah, and yeah, you're already a month in and already seeing there's already been progress, haven't they? And already feeling better and seeing different things and energy coming up and stuff. So yeah, we've got plenty more to go as well. So exciting times. Thanks a lot for that, Amanda.
Most
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thanks, James.